Oh, well, the intro didn't start, so I guess we're starting. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Tuesday. It's been a crazy week so far. It all started on Sunday. So welcome in, guys. Glad that you could join us today here for another Ear to Ear Magic live stream. If you've never joined us before here, either live or in replay. Hi, my name's Chris. I'm your Disney travel agent in the parks and your camera operator for a little home stream today. Glad you guys could hang out with us, and I don't know if we are in the right spot or not. Let me double check to make sure.
77 people watching.
There we go. Here we go. People are coming in. Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Let me mute this here. All right. Good. So, glad you guys could join us this morning. Didn't get to see you yesterday. Yesterday was a long day. Got up at 3:30 in the morning. And no, I did not run a Disney race. We got up at 3:30 in the morning. Was on a train with Brightline heading to Fort Lauderdale as early as I think the train left at 5:25, and was on the but the Everglades port at Fort Lauderdale yesterday morning at 9 a.m. And it was a great day yesterday. Matter of fact, we may talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Did a ship tour yesterday. Got back on a train, back to Orlando. Checked out some things at the airport last night and got home really late. It was a long day. I realized that by the time I got in the bed and it was ready to close my eyes, I had been awake for 22 hours straight. So we didn't get to stream with you guys yesterday, so it's good to see you this morning. If this is the first time you've ever joined us here on Ear to Ear Magic, we're a family-friendly streaming channel where we go to Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort. We will be taking you guys to Disney property later on today. We have been streaming since 2020. We have been vlogging since 2016. And we hope that you guys can come on in, have some fun with us, and come see our streams usually every Monday through Friday at the parks. So hit the subscribe button if you guys have not done so before today. Tony goes, what day is today? I mean, who knows? I mean, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? If it's the first time you've seen a stream this week, maybe it's Monday. Anybody miss work yesterday? Because I didn't know. How's it going, Elizabeth? Welcome in, Greg. Shaquille, happy Tuesday. Good to see you, James, Deb, Doran's here. Good morning, Carol. By the way, a belated happy birthday to Carol, who celebrated yesterday. Hope you had a great time, and hope you enjoyed your Portillo's chocolate cake shake. Mouse ears and beers. It's like forever and a day since you were here. How you doing? Are you doing good with the post-Disney depression? Because you were just here last Tuesday. We got to see you. Made my day. I was really excited. I was not expecting to get to see you. So good morning. Welcome in, Jill. Jill Vanderlip is not at work today. So I love Tuesdays that Jill's can be with us in the stream. Lone Wolf, how you doing? Sam A is here. Vanessa R. Internet down, missed work, Vanessa. I wouldn't say I missed work, Bob. But how you doing today, Andrea? Cake Toast says week doesn't officially start on the calendar until the first Ear to Ear Magic stream. Good morning, Rod. How you doing today? Fragnito's with us. Thank you guys for coming in and having some just a quick talk. What we decided to do is we're going to continue. We're going to do this at noon. We're going to go back live again and take you guys around to more of the Disney World parks, resorts. We're not going to go to the parks today. We're going to be going to Walt Disney World resorts. I got so many messages from people who are in the Magic Crew or brand new who were watching last Tuesday's stream and go, I had no idea there were this many hotels. And we only did 10, I think we did 11 out of the 21 that we had planned on doing.
So there's still a whole nother half that we hadn't even gotten to yet. And that's not counting the little offsets. So we're still doing that today. So come back noon. We'll be back on Disney property doing some more walking around, showing you transportation to and from the resorts. We have Port Orleans Riverside today, French Quarter. We still haven't done the Saratoga Springs. We still haven't, we got to get the monorail resorts. We got to get Wilderness Lodge, Fort Wilderness. Still a lot to be seen. So come and join us again today. If you haven't done so already, find the resort stream. It's now set for noon. Hit the like button and put a reminder in there to make sure to come and have some fun with us a little bit later. Tony says only 1 year until, is it? It really is. I didn't realize this. Our next group cruise, well, not even our next group cruise now. Our 2025 Virgin Voyages group cruise for May is 1 year from today. It's May 14th through the 18th of 2025. And we'd love for you guys to join us on that if you haven't signed up for that already. That's cool. I didn't realize that it is 1 year from today, Tony. Hey, Dee, welcome in. So what I wanted to do is before we get into today's stream, my concern was that if we started into today's resort stream and we're focusing on resorts, there's so much stuff. I didn't stream yesterday because we were on a ship tour. Today we had all kinds of announcements and things come out with Tiana's Bayou adventure. So let's just discuss this, get you guys to ask some questions, get some other stuff out of the way. And that way, when we get into the resort stream at noon today, we can focus a lot on the resorts. And before we get into any of that, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I'm going to just bring this up so we can cover it. And so when it comes up in discussions, if someone comes in there, we can say, well, we've already discussed it, and this is kind of how we're dealing with it. The elephant in the room came out, Gideon's Bakehouse. Yes, there was an account on Instagram called The Ghost of Gideon's that was created, in which they posted some, and let's just be fair, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Basically, employees of Gideon's Bakehouse who are not cast members, they are working for a company. Gideon's Bakehouse is not a Disney-owned and operated company. And some employees are making accusations of bad work environments, toxic places, and also talking about their wages and the fact that they're only getting paid servers' wages, which is below the minimum wage because they're considered servers, like in a restaurant, and they are getting paid through their tips. A lot of this stuff I was not aware of. Some of it actually got made known to me vaguely last week after we visited Gideon's Bakehouse. So here's the thing, and this is my stance on it. For first of all, one, we are not an account that uses whatever news to just throw it out there for views. We're here for people who are wanting to travel and be aware of what the news is, how to travel, what to travel, and how to take the stress out of travel. Susan and I are Travelmation travel agents. We are not TMZ. That's not how we work. That's not how we operate. So as far as Gideon's Bakehouse is concerned, first of all, I have no evidence of anything other than the accusations that were made. We'll take those into consideration. I can't add anything to it. And actually at this point, without any evidence whatsoever, my opinion is about as worthless as the lint in my left pocket. So we understand that there's a lot of people who are interested in this, but we are not the experts. I don't know all the information. All I can say is that any work environment in which people feel unsafe or unable to do the work, or they shouldn't be in those kind of conditions, is never a good thing. We're never going to support that. At the same time, I'm not the idea of cancel culture, that this is a business we can just take down. I don't like that at all. Instead of doing that kind of thing, I'm much more of, let's find things, let's bring people up, let's make things better. Instead of just trash talking others, let's encourage them to make better of themselves. So as far as Gideon's Bakehouse is concerned, we don't have information on it. I can't speak with truth about it because I don't know. And I would hope that you guys would take the same kind of consideration. Let's find out what the information is, encourage people to be better. Let's not be nasty about it. So that's all I'm going to say about Gideon's Bakehouse. So we can kind of set that one aside and say, all right, there we go. The next thing let's talk about is probably the biggest thing. After I move that over here, let me actually bring it back. Let's talk about Tiana's. So, we woke up Sunday morning and we got the announcement from Disney. Disney Park said that they were going to be making a very big announcement about Tiana's Bayou on American Idol Live on Sunday night's 8 p.m. show. So we all got excited about it. I even spent time posting things up going, hey guys, if you're interested, go watch American Idol. It wasn't, less than an hour that there's a location for press releases for Walt Disney World. And just so you guys know, I know a lot of you may not be aware of the fact, but a lot of the information that comes through us and from all other sources that promote and give out information, a lot of this stuff is just official press release from Disney. I mean, it's not like we have reporters everywhere hanging out in corners and writing down sketch pads and meeting with some guy to figure out, when is this going to open or what's the new item going to be over at this restaurant and for, June. No, it's stuff that Disney's prepared. They're marketing, they make releases to the media. And so what ended up happening was they had a press release ready to go to publish after the announcement was made on American Idol. The whole point of the announcement on American Idol was to draw people to go watch the show. And unfortunately, someone working at Disney accidentally published the press release early. It didn't stay on long, but it was long enough for those who are Disney news hounds to see it, got it, and it was out there. I feel bad. I feel bad for Disney. I really do. So, Quentin, thank you so much for subscribing. Glad to have you in. So, I don't know. It's the people like somebody's going to lose their job. Somebody probably got their hand slapped at least at the minimum. Press release. Yeah, someone probably did get fired. Here's the thing. Announcement, all the marketing. Let's get people to watch American Idol. And it got leaked out beforehand. So people didn't have to go watch American Idol to see that the news is that Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening June 28th. That's it. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it ahead of time. And some of you guys who follow us on Instagram or Facebook or even Threads, you'll notice that even though the announcement, the news got pushed out, I didn't make the announcement until we saw it on American Idol. I want to make sure it's official. And here's the thing. Whether or not I sit there and hit post Sunday morning at 10 a.m. or at 8 p.m. is not going to change the fact what's going to happen Monday morning. We all want to know the news. We all are dying to get a hold of it. And once we get it, we can't really do anything with it until we sit there until the next thing. So for me, it was like I'd rather wait for it to become official. But yeah, we're going to open up June 28th, and it's a Friday. And the last Friday of the month of June. And then we've next heard word that the annual pass holder previews or cast member previews and AP previews would be announced sometime on the 14th, which is today. So we woke up this morning and guess what? We got some more news. Annual pass holder previews will be June 13th, 14th, 17th, 18th, and 20th. And those dates are Thursday the 13th, Friday the 14th, 16th is a Sunday, 17th is a Monday, Tuesday the 18th, and then the 20th. Now, it's kind of strange how they jumped over a couple of days, and that's probably a very important reason as to why they did that. My guess, which again means nothing, I have a feeling that they may have some media days in there, or they may have a D23 day or Club 33 day. We don't know anything about cast member previews just yet, not official. So the fact that they're starting the 13th, we're very likely going to be looking at the end of May all the way up to the 13th to get cast members on to the rides as well. And then media, Club 33, and all those are going to be coming in. It's going to be a busy month for the ride, which means as we go in and stream with you guys, we may not be able to ride it all the time, but we're going to be able to see people coming through and riding it, which is going to be pretty exciting as well. So let's talk about it. Pass holder previews. If you haven't already gotten your park reservations for those days, yeah. They made the announcement this morning, and let's put it this way. I have park reservations for Susan, Owen, Caleb, and myself for June 13th. So the 13th on a Thursday, we have park reservations. Whether or not we get the ride or not, it's still up in the air. That'd be cool if it went up in the air. But we're going to try. And so how it's going to work is on those days, they are going to be utilizing the virtual queue. Virtual queue like they've done for Rise of the Resistance, like they've done for Tron, like they've done for Guardians of the Galaxy, and what they're still using for Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy. So how it's going to work out, if you're an annual pass holder, if you have a park reservation for Magic Kingdom that day, you will be able to grab a 7 a.m. virtual queue until they're gone, which is going to be in 3 seconds. And then they will open up an additional one at 1 p.m. And again, at that point, I think you have to be in the park.
You have to have entered the park.
You have to have entered the park at Magic Kingdom to grab it for the 1 p.m. You do not have to be present inside the park. Of course, you can't be because it's 7 a.m., but you must have a MK reservation. So, how it's going to work. On these days, annual pass holders, if you have an MK park reservation, you can attempt to get a 7 a.m. If not, you can park hop. Try to be in the park before the 1 p.m. and grab the 1 p.m. virtual queue. If you do not have any park reservations at all, which may potentially, I don't know, I haven't looked at the calendar. Have they been selling out APs for all of the days? If so, you have to wait until 2 p.m. Remember, and your pass holders can go to MK after 2 p.m. without a park reservation at all on weekdays. Then the likelihood is not going to be very high. Let's just be honest. They're going to sell out, they're going to get out, they're going to be gone. So we're going to be using the virtual queue system. No Genie Plus for prior to June 28th. When the ride opens June 28th, they will be having virtual queues like they're doing now for a limited time. I don't know how long that's going to be. It may be a couple of months, just to kind of let everything settle. And of course, you can purchase Genie Plus as well. Do we know if it's an individual lightning lane?
Yes, there is also an individual.
Let's say it's going to have some individual lightning lanes. So I'm curious, who in the chat, is there anybody who's a pass holder who already has a park reservation for those days? Did anybody go ahead and grab one? Mark C says, I guess it pays to be an annual pass holder. Oh no, they pay. Walt Shilley says they just announced DVC dates. Okay. Hey Walt, Walt Shilley, if you want to help out and throw those into the chat for me, that would be great. Good morning, Randy and Heidi. Christian says, much like Tron, I want to ride at night. That's going to be cool, but if we're going to be on this virtual system, we're not going to have much of a choice as to when we ride. If we get a later date, a later in the day virtual queue, maybe. The problem though is going to be, Christian, that if you have a later in the day virtual queue, there is no guarantee, and there is actual wording on Disney's website that grabbing a virtual queue does not guarantee entrance to the ride. So they may have a lot longer number, just like we used to do in Rise of the Resistance. They may get up to the 130s and 140s and go, we're done, no more. And just because you had a virtual queue, you've been waiting around all day, you may still not be able to ride. So that's a possibility. How you doing, Jeff Davis?
Jeff Davis says the park reservation page is a wait to get in now. How do you even get a wait? I got the Stitch 8 the page for over an hour. Disney Lisa says, I'll write it in October. I feel bad for Disney Lisa. Disney Lisa's coming to go on our group cruise, which ironically, we are embarking on the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas the day Tiana's opens up. Now, normally I'd be like, oh, I can't believe that. It's horrible. You know what? Yeah, it's fun to be their opening day. The fact of the matter is, I hopefully will have written it prior to. Hopefully, we'll be able to take you guys on it. I don't know if I get an opportunity. If there's anyone out there who has a space for cast member previews, or maybe there's a Club 33 member that can invite us, anything like that may happen, that we can stream it and share it with you guys. Hopefully, we'll have some way to say we've already shared that experience prior to us getting on June 28th. But that's rough, Disney Lisa. It's like right there at that time frame. It's kind of rough. Did we get the DVC? DVC, thank you, Miss Adventures. DVC is the 12th, which is the day before annual pass holder starts. The 19th, which is in between the last 2 days. And cast members are 3rd to the 7th. Media is 9th to the 11th. Thank you very much, Miss Adventures. Appreciate that. So DVC, June 12th and June 19th. Wow, that's rough. DVC members have 2 days. Yeah, that's a good thing there's only like 7 DVC members, maybe 8.
Lately, they've been only releasing their stuff if you actually have a reservation.
Right, and if you have to actually have a resort stay
Booking,
with
yeah.
DVC points to get that too. So that can be a little rough. Good morning, Peggy. How you doing? Good to see you, Jared. Barbara. Carol, what about if you don't need a park reservation like me because I'll be there after the group cruise? Can I try the virtual queue at 7? Yes. Once the ride opens at 7 a.m., it will be open to anyone who has a dated ticket during that time frame or a park reservation for annual pass holders. I have a feeling our good to go days might be sparse for a bit for the summertime. But yes, Carol, it doesn't mean that anyone can grab a virtual queue. It just means that if you have tickets, let's say you're coming July, 3rd through the 8th, every single one of your dated ticket days, every one of you've got a 5-day ticket, park hopper tickets for those days, then you'll be able to try and get a virtual queue every one of those days at 7 a.m. You don't have to have a park reservation. So you may plan on being on Animal Kingdom that day. You get up at 7 a.m., you grab your virtual queue for Tiana's, and maybe you have to be a little flexible as to how that works. So keep that in mind. If you do have tickets, you're not an annual pass holder, you do not require a park reservation, you can still grab it even if your plans internally are a different park, and you have to be a little flexible as to what you do. That could be problematic if you're one who over plans dining or doesn't leave yourself some space for windows. So that is something to take in consideration. Great question, Carol. Anthony, great question. Do you think the virtual queues will go away for Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy now that this has a virtual queue? Not in the slightest. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think what's going to end up happening is at the beginning of the day at 7 a.m., you're going to have 2 tabs at the top. You're going to see one for Epcot and one for Magic Kingdom. When you click Magic Kingdom, you're going to be given 2 options, one for Tron, one for Tiana's. I think Tiana's is going to stay virtual queue for at least 2 to 3 months. I think they're going to wait for the hype to die down, and then just like they did with Rise of the Resistance, but I think at a shorter time period, they will remove Tiana's. I think Tron's not going anywhere at the moment. So it's going to become an additional option, and you're not going to see anything different going with Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I could be wrong because I'm not an expert. I just, that's a gut feeling, and I don't think that's going to change anything for those 2 rides. So, you're still going to have some opportunities to do stuff like that. Jeff says, I think the better question is, will Tiana's maintain the old single rider line? Or will it move to Tron? Single rider line? I'm talking about whether or not you're going to go with just the standby for Tiana's. Is it going to go back to just regular standby? Here's the thing. I think Disney is going to monitor the throughput of how many people are riding and how long it takes everybody to go through. And they may decide that with so many people riding, it's taking so long to put people through this ride, that if we open it to standby, we may find ourselves going well out the queue. I think until they determine there's a point where the demand comes down slightly, they may just keep 2 virtual queues going off at the Magic Kingdom until they don't need them anymore.
We don't have a ton of queue space for sure.
Yeah. Tron, well, I mean, Tron's got some back and forth, but they got some good space that they've built for Tiana's. The question is, if it's so popular that it starts to do like it used to do for Splash Mountain, I can go past Co-op Critter Co-op. We'll talk about that in a second. And down the way and up over the bridge, then they've got problems. They don't want those lines going in through, especially when they have cavalcades or parades or marching bands or anything going through there, and there's this line that's just stuck out there. They can't take it over where they go for Big Thunder Mountain, because it sometimes goes over the bridge for long days in summer as well. So it's all about space, and if they think they can do the space, it's going to be fine. A couple other things let's talk about. First of all, your picture right here. Yes, we will be having a PhotoPass photo on the drop. So if you are an AP or if you have Memory Maker, when you purchase your packages, you'll still be able to get a really cool photo of you screaming your head off on the drop. Another thing, there is a website out there that I love it. I just love it. That they had an article in which they stated, this was the article, is that the Splash Mountain drop has been removed. Well, Splash Mountain was removed. Yeah, it's called Tiana's Bayou Adventure now. So people are reading this and they're freaking out because they're not like us. They're not here at the parks and they don't see. They think that they may have removed the drop from the attraction. No, it's the exact same drop. Matter of fact, they've taken down and removed the old Splash Mountain drop signs. And just this past week, they added the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure signs that says there is a drop. It's a 50-foot drop. I think technically it's 48 feet, but we're not going to sit there and split hairs about it. So the signs have been up. There's still a drop. It's still about 50 feet. But you'll see people freaking out because they see this article. It says that the Splash Mountain drop was removed. How you doing, Joe Nardo? Welcome in, AB. Good to see you, Melanie. Welcome in, guys. We just decided we're going to have a little talk about some things that if we were walking around looking at the resorts, this would be a lot harder to just kind of hit hard and just kind of cover it all. So this morning we're going to have 2 streams. We're going to talk about some of this stuff, give you guys a chance to ask some questions. And then once we start back again, we're going to be starting at noon. We hope that you guys can join us. We're going to be hitting Walt Disney World resorts. We have about 10, maybe 11 more. We're going to go through around and just kind of hang out with today. So hopefully you guys will join us for that as well. Christian says, with that logic, then the logs have been removed too. Yeah, well, the logs were removed. Everything was removed, and they replaced it with a complete clone. It's the same ride system. So don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's kind of funny, Christian, when you see stuff like that. They removed it. But we will have a PhotoPass photography session. We're going to have photos on the rides. Also, good news for those who back in February were really excited when they started to offer the beignets over at Golden Oaks. Beginning June 28th, beignets will be coming back to not only Golden Oaks Outpost, where it was before on the other side of Pecos Bill, but over at the Friar Nook. So, I mean, it kind of works. They're fried, right? So beignets are coming back, and they will be available at 2 spaces.
inside the Magic Kingdom starting June 28th. So, hey, Mark. Mark says, love the artwork behind you. This is some of my, I love these guys. These are some of my Stitch artwork that I've gotten over the years. How you doing this morning, Terry? Good. We'll see you at noon then, Rod. Caleb B says, I'm so happy to hear that they are my favorite. They are not Mickey shaped, but they are pretty good beignets. I remember them. I think we gave them like a 4 out of 5. We're very happy with them. So Shannon and baby Caleb says, I live for the beignets. Yet it is. So it's basically just a reskin of the ride that was there. Yes, exactly. It really is going to be the exact same ride system. All they've done is removed the animatronics, put in a new storyline, fix it up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they'll catch us off guard. There'll be something that we didn't experience on Splash. But, you know, yeah, just think about the idea of, so like Susan mentioned, the difference between the frog ride and the bear ride. Just kind of change it up a little bit. So it's not going to be, I mean, think about it. We went from closing in January of 2023 to opening in June of 2024. They didn't change a lot as far as the ride mechanics, but hopefully they'll surprise us with some cool things. I know we've seen some of the animatronics and some of the things like that, so maybe they have some really cool magic. I'm personally hoping that we get to see some really cool effects that they haven't shown us yet before, like we get in some of those rides overseas. They got some really cool effects in some of these, and I'm hoping we get to see some of that as well. How you doing, Steven? Good morning, good morning. And I see, did we cover everything? Cast member previews coming up starting, I believe, the 3rd. Pass holder previews are starting the 13th. The media is going 9th and 11th. DVC is in between the 2 dates that we had that were, that are the holes. They have, I think, the 12th and the 19th are DVC. And everybody's going to be able to ride starting again on the 28th. So, I mean, we've got a lot of cool things coming on. And eventually it's just going to be a ride that we're going to be able to ride and do on the regular when we go into our streams on the norm. So, have you heard anything about Disneyland? No. All we know is that it's coming later this year, or later. They haven't even said if it's going to be this year yet. So we'll have to see how that comes out. Any other questions about Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the information we've learned so far? Adam, good question. Do they typically have a merch reveal for something like this? I'm glad you brought that up because that was another thing I was going to be talking about. We will be having, of course, the gift shop that will be opening up later. It's the Critter Co-op. It's the old Briar Patch location. We've shown it to you guys before. It's nestled around in the corner of the train station and Bayou Adventure. They will not be ready, I don't think, by opening to 28th. At least they're not telling us that they are. Right now, expectation is that all merch for opening day and opening day or opening attraction merch is all going to be found in the Emporium. And eventually will be moved into the Critter Co-op once it's ready. Why would they bring up the Emporium if the co-op was going to be open already? Well, this just tells me they're not quite expecting it to be done. So I expect that opening day merch, which we won't be there for opening day, so we're going to have to look for it at the front of the park, and it will be over in that front store, the Emporium, of course, the gigantic store on your left as you're going down Main Street.
Just for the crowds, even if the other stores open, if they have that merch.
Yeah. Ken, yes, we talked about it earlier. They just released the DVC dates earlier, and they just came out while we were talking, so I haven't even written them down just yet. But We do have DVC dates now as well. Yes, there will be a virtual queue for pass order previews and everybody else. June 28th, there will be a virtual queue until they decide they don't need it anymore. So people can get it starting at 7 a.m. and again at 1 p.m. if there's any spaces left. All the animations, the animatronics is going to be amazing. I mean, just the ones for Mama Odie were jaw dropping. And Juju, oh, I can't wait to see Juju. All right, so that's Tiana's. I knew that was going to take up a lot of time, and I thought let's just kind of talk about it now and not have to worry about it once we get onto today's stream later on at the resorts. But we'll try to get you onto the ride at least once before the 28th, because on the 28th we will be embarking on our group cruise for Royal Caribbean. So we're going to try to take care of it beforehand. And you know what? If we don't, it will be there when we get back. So not going to stress about it too much. It's going to be a great ride. We're going to continue to ride it as often as they let us get on it. So we'll take you guys on it, just like we used to do in Splash Mountain back in the day before it closed in January of last year. So, good morning, Three Strands. How you doing, Adam? Did you miss the home lunch poll? Yeah, we did. We already went through it. It was Crystal Light. So, all right. Good morning, Megan G. How are you? Oh, and you ready to do some resort tours today? So, let's. I also want to talk about briefly. Actually, you know what? There's one other thing. Did you want to make any other formal announcement when it comes to Tiana's? Susan had something she wanted to mention and talk about. Did we want to go ahead and make that announcement?
I don't know. So my thought was, you guys know that we help our clients, our travel clients, have a successful vacation as possible. We do occasionally assist with acquiring virtual queues. Now, obviously, we will not be available to do that from the 28th through the 1st, because we will, maybe the 1st, probably not though, depends on when the ship got in, I couldn't guarantee that. But if you book a vacation package, on-site vacation package, and are one of the two people, because we only have 2 devices between the two of us.
We should create some slots. We'll create slots for each day.
It has to be done on the app. We can't do it on a computer, so it has to be done on a phone. But we will use our cable, high-speed internet access to maximize your potential of getting a virtual queue for Tiana's.
No guarantees, but we
will only be doing that
hardest
for on-site guests with packages that include a on-site hotel stay and tickets. And if you book that with us, we will queue you into a slot. So I got a tiny bit of sleep, Terry.
She got a full 45 minutes.
I'm still feeling it a little bit. I stayed up with our
group
Royal
cruise.
Caribbean group cruise at midnight, overnight. Check-in opened for Allure of the Seas for our cruise at the end of next month. And so I just opened up a Facebook Live within our Facebook group and kind of talked everyone through it.
All these people who are cruising that with us next month, all staying up together with their trusty travel agent and all
just
got their
talking,
check-ins.
Yes, and we're all at the same time. With the
That's
exception
cool.
of one person that's coming from Disney, so they pushed theirs just a little bit later because they wanted to not have to leave.
Not going to call anybody out, but we'll all be waiting for you at the buffet.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so we did that, got that all taken care of last night. It was very exciting. Very happy that everyone got their times. And then, so yeah, I'm feeling a little tired. And that was on top of getting up at 3:30 a.m. yesterday morning to help get Chris up and going and drive him to the Brightline station so he could take the train. So
Yeah, that was a rough night before this fall.
I am feeling still a little tired.
So, just to reiterate, if you book your room and ticket package with us for the month of July and August.
August, yeah.
We will be opening it up no more than 2 slots per day
Yep.
for our guests that have booked with us as Travelmation to help you get your Tiana's Bayou Adventure virtual queue for the day.
Yeah.
So-
And I'm going to tell you, I mean, there are a lot of spaces still open in July and August. A lot of the promotions now, this may rapidly change now that they have released the dates for opening for Tiana's. But there were, as I was quoting a couple of clients, a lot of availability for their promotions. And the previous couple of years, they would release a promotion and slots for that promotion would be gone really fast. And right now, it continues to be available on certain dates. And there are some dates that include free dining. There are some dates that include room-only reservations. So, I mean, reach out. Let's see if we can get you booked. And we would love to help you with that.
Tony wanted to remind you that it's 1 year until our
To the
May
mouse,
2025.
we do not feel like Tron will come off a virtual queue. They have a somewhat limited space for the queue for Tron.
They have mentioned that Tiana's is going to be temporary.
Yeah,
It was very
Tiana's
specifically called out. It will be
eventually end once the excitement and the initial, heavy crowds end on that one. We feel like that one, well, they've said it will return to like just a normal standby and lightning lane option. But right now, we feel pretty confident there would just be 2 options. We don't see Tron going away. There will be Tron as well. There's just not enough space for them to drop that. There's just not.
So one other thing I wanted to bring up, since Susan is here, Susan did not get to go with us on the Virgin Voyages cruise in March.
Not.
Last minute thing changed in our
It
plans.
was sad.
It was very, very sad. There was gnashing of teeth and there was a lot of lamenting. So she has been jonesing to get back on a Virgin Voyages.
So bad. So bad.
So much so that she's decided that she's not going to wait until the May cruise next year.
Yeah.
Good morning, honey. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull this back up. I'm going to let this be over here. I'm going to cover myself up because nobody cares about that. Here we go. Boom. That's you. That's all you.
Yes.
January
Yes.
26th through the 31st.
Mm-hmm. Come join us. We're gonna have like a ladies sort of think of it as like a renewing, starting up your strengths for the storing up your strengths for the upcoming year. New you, new year. We're gonna have a ton of fun. This is a particular itinerary that I have not been on before, but I'm really excited to.
Wait, where are you guys
some of my
going?
lady friends. We're gonna hit Mexico.
You're going to Mexico?
We're going to Mexico.
You're going to Mexico without me? I've never been to Mexico.
So exciting. So we would love for you to join us. There is an amazing sale right now, 70% off the second sailor. Grab one of your girlfriends, grab a cabin. As long as I can get at least 10 cabins, you'll have $100 on board credit.
Pickle Shake wants to know if you can come carry the luggage for the ladies. No, but Mrs. Pickle Shake can come. And we'll pay for it. You can pay.
Mrs. Pickle Shake needs to come join us.
You need to
Absolutely.
send Mrs. Pickle Shake with some cash so she can pay for a porter.
We're gonna have a blast. I'm really excited. It's just a little bit longer than our cruises that we've done with Virgin Voyages before. A different itinerary. I have 6 months to plan some fun activities that we're going to do together, be it excursions or time in the spa.
And Pickle Shake
playing some games.
Pickle Shake and I are going to go out to a Mexican restaurant.
Enjoying some amazing food. Let's not forget the amazing food that is on every single Virgin Voyages ship. And we would love for you to join us. So, and I would really say, come, bring your friends. This is not just for Ear to Ear Magic followers. I would love just to have some ladies hang out and have a great time. definitely a good time to be had with that. So reach out to me, email me if you're interested in that. I can get you pricing. It is right now, if you are traveling alone, even if you want to travel alone, with the current promotion that they have out, it's actually cheaper to get, say, because they have solo rooms, single rooms that are inside or ocean view. It's actually cheaper to get a regular ocean view room, which is larger and has this cute little window seat, or a balcony stateroom, than it is to get one of those solo rooms, because of that second 70% off the second sailor. You get that even if you're in the room by yourself. So
Go Tiger says I'm going to Green Agave. I can't go to Pink Agave, so if gentlemen, if you're already thinking ahead of time, well, what would be a really cool like upcoming holiday Christmas present?
yes,
Or,
this would be an amazing gift to give it, put it under the tree, and then just a few weeks after that, they get to sail with us.
we're sending you off to go to Mexico with the rest of the ladies, and
Yes.
I am going to Taco Bell. So
It's gonna be fun.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
fun.
I think it's going to be great. So we've got that coming up, and don't forget we have the Allure next
Yes.
month. The ladies, I think it's kind of cool. We decided to call it a ladies cruise because you're going on the Valiant, right?
Lady.
The Valiant Lady.
Yes, on the Valiant Lady. That is the name of the cruise ship that we
Yep.
will be on.
And then we're going to be on that same ship again in May of next year for everybody, at least as long as you're 18 or older,
Yes.
for that. And then Utopia for Royal Caribbean will be July
Yep.
14th through the 18th of
Yes.
2025.
Great for families. Ton to do on this ship. It is the Star is coming out summer of next year, but right now it is the newest ship.
Hasn't even come out yet. Utopia
It comes
has,
out in just a few weeks.
no, Utopia hasn't even been released
In a
officially
few
yet.
weeks, it will be out. So we're really excited to get on a new ship. It is an Oasis class ship, and I am really excited that we're going to get to go.
And yesterday, I got to go on the Disney Magic with the Disney Cruise Line. It was the OG. Came out in 1998. Do you know it's been?
And it has been refreshed.
It has been refreshed. It has been refreshed. It's still a very excellent ship.
Gorgeous
Still a
ship.
very nice ship.
Gorgeous ship.
It's just not as big as some of the newer ships, and it
No.
doesn't have all those fancy
It
bells and
kinda
whistles.
has a more intimate feel
It doesn't
to
have
it.
the slide that goes all the way around the ship that takes you from the breakfast buffet up and down to the the pool. But it has,
It has some amazing kids areas.
very, very, very nice.
Kids, tweens, teens, they all have
Still
their
have vibe and
spaces.
edge.
Yes, it's amazing.
Rapunzel's Royal Table is just an amazing dining room. But while we were going through and seeing all this and getting the tour, we'll have more stuff to share with you guys. That's from the tour yesterday. It gives me a chance to hang out with our Disney Destinations a manager, our business development manager with Disney Destinations, who's in charge of the parks, Disney Adventures by Disney, and Disney Cruise Line. And I asked him, I said, so, right now, the only thing they have right now is summer 2025. They haven't announced fall of 2025
No,
yet.
they have not.
So, just saying, I think it's about time.
Fall or Christmas?
I don't know. I kind of like a Halloween on the high seas. I have been jonesing for a Halloween on the high seas with,
Or a
with Disney Cruise Line.
merry time Christmas?
So,
I don't know. One of the two.
they put them out. They
One of the
don't. They
two.
don't release like yearly bulk
They
stuff
are
like
really
that.
tight with their itineraries. They don't release them early like the other ones. Like I can book into 2026 for most of the other cruise lines, but not Disney.
No.
They hold theirs tight. So
And when they release them, they're gone. They go 40 to 60% of all rooms are booked within the first couple of weeks once they release. That's just
Yeah.
the way it is. So the question is, if you guys are actually very interested in doing a Disney group cruise with us, first of all, one, it doesn't work the same way that the other cruise lines do because they can't do groups. You know why? Because they sell out. They can't hold blocks or rooms like we can do.
They did
But-
post-COVID release some. They're like, we're going to do groups for the first time ever, but they have these really strict rules to them. Like it has to be all of the cabins have to be actually booked and named all at the same time. A single person has to pay the deposit for
Everybody
all
has
the
to pay
people.
everybody's.
It has to be a pretty large number. It's really tricky, and it doesn't really benefit you. So
Joe's good dog says I can't afford the words coming out of your mouth. So there have been a lot of people who have contacted us and said we would love to do some group cruises with you guys. Or they already like to do group cruises and say, when are we going to do a Disney cruise? We have really tried. Here's the thing, Disney
is at a much higher price point.
Disney's at a higher point. They have a lot more things that they do, high quality. It's a different type of cruise line, but it comes at a different price.
You pay for their theming,
Yes.
and the characters.
You
and
pay. When
pay.
we were walking through the ship, there's Pluto walking through. I got to see Donald, and that's just something that comes with the price that you pay.
Exactly.
And so what's going to end up happening is if you guys are seriously considered would like to do a Disney cruise, it's going to have to be something that does something really quick. And so when we get fall or winter 2025,
then we'll start looking at dates that would work.
it's going to have to go on the quick.
We have to work around Liberty's school schedule too.
You have to do it really, really fast.
Yeah.
So you guys keep an eye out for that as well.
Christian.
Disney Cruise Line is the only cruise ship that has fireworks. Well, not really. The rest of the ships just follow them and
follow them around.
watch their fireworks.
Yeah, we've told that story so many times when we were on the top deck and the manager
Independence
was like,
of the
we
sea.
were watching all of these ships move,
Mm-hmm.
and we felt like we were constantly moving. And we asked the manager that was up on top what was going on, and they're like, "Oh, we're just making all the other cruise lines work for the fireworks tonight." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "They know where we are. They try to line themselves up so that they can show you the fireworks." From their ship. And we kid you not, when we were on
The Independence of the Sea.
Independence last year, group cruise, it was in the released activities that there would be fireworks. Like they gave you what time and everything.
We went out on the deck. We live streamed it with you guys actually.
And we found a spot that we felt like would be a good spot to watch it that was kind of different from where everyone else was. We just, we went and watch them. So
there's we've got a lot of stuff with the parks that we're getting ready for. I'm going to make an announcement here hopefully this week of when we're going to do upcoming Halloween Horror Nights. We as a Run Disney group, anyone who wants to purchase tickets for Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party,
large group of us
Halloween night,
purchased.
we are going to be there that night and
Yes.
streaming and hanging out with those who will be running the 5K the very next morning.
It is not an inexpensive night to come.
No,
it's
it's
the
pricey.
most expensive night to go. It's $199 per person.
$211 plus with tax, I think.
Yes, it's
So,
crazy.
but if you guys are going to be here and you're interested, let us know. We've got
Halloween party on Halloween.
We've
So,
got group. We're going to be doing group cruises moving forward here as well. If you want to be connected with the people that are in this group, we're going to find a way to make sure that there's a possibility for you to do that.
Yeah.
It's not an idea of come hang out with us. That's not the point.
No.
Come and hang out with the community. There's a lot of people who you can get to meet, get to know, and we love it. So if you guys are interested in anything, you guys can always reach out to us. You've got our email address. This is susanedwards@travelmation.net. Copy me at chrisedwards@travelmation.net. And if you don't hear from us from a few days, feel free to hit reply. Let us know. Sometimes things get lost.
Yeah.
Or sometimes double check that email address. We get a couple times where people will leave off the .nets or they
Yeah.
put Travel Nation with an N.
Or they put
instead of
.com
M.
instead of
Right.
.net.
So we just want to make sure that you guys hear back from us, and if not, follow up. We want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us, not only as a channel, but as Travelmation travel agents and our small business as well. We would not be where we're at without you guys' support, so we appreciate it. So we are, Pickle Shakes is looking forward to the Wine and Dine and the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Yes.
It's gonna be, we are gonna go.
Here's the fun thing. They
4 o'clock.
always theme up for the 5K. So this is perfect. Costume for the 5K.
Whatever we're
works
running,
for Disney.
whatever we run in the
Not so
5K,
scary Halloween party.
we're gonna wear it to the party.
Allow you to dress up in costumes. So
it's gonna be pretty fun. And by the way, I keep forgetting to mention this. Calvin had someone challenge him that if we hit 35,000 Magic Crew members by Halloween, that Calvin will have to dress up as Miss Piggy.
was that someone you?
No,
that someone
I had
you?
nothing to
No?
do with it.
Someone else?
You guys blame me for everything. I didn't come up with that. I didn't come up with going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. That was not me at all. It had nothing to do with me. But if you guys are watching today and you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Help us get closer to that goal, and you will be able to see Calvin dressed up as Miss Piggy, not only for the 5K, but he'll have to stay at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party the entire night
That will be
as
fun
Miss Piggy.
times.
And we're inviting everyone else who's coming that weekend. If you're going to be doing the 5K with us for the Run Disney, we're going to be doing Muppet themes because it's going to be the Swedish Chef 5K.
Yes.
So we're all going to be dressed up as different Muppets. And so can you imagine us all going through Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party
Oh my goodness.
as just Muppets? I think the lines for the candy will be hilarious. So love to have you join us for that as well. But here's the other thing. We actually had someone just recently on a social media account comment said that, you know, we do this all the time and we've been going to this place for years, and they have never used a travel agent. And so many of our travel clients now are ones in which they've booked and done their travel themselves.
Yeah.
They've never invited anyone else to be a part of it. And they understand it's very much I'm in control and I've got it taken care of. And we had a lot of conversations yesterday with the representative from Disney about that. And he says, well, you know, the thing is that you just need to let them know that Disney pays us the commission to help you guys. The contact from Disney is all 100% of saying, you know what, we have built this in so that you guys can get paid to help the people that come to do our things. Let them take advantage of that. And so you don't have to pay a dime to have a travel agent help you
In
do
fact,
stuff.
you are already paying.
You're already paying it. You're paying our
built
fee.
into the
It's just
cost.
Disney is keeping it. It's just Royal Caribbean
Yeah.
is keeping it. It's just Universal is keeping it. So take advantage of that. Let us be a part of that, and we would love for you guys to reach out to us and let us be your Travelmation travel agent.
Even if you prefer to do all the planning parts yourself, we are happy to let you do that. And then we are in your back pocket the first time there's an issue. I have a client that is pretty independent with their planning. They prefer to do their things themselves, but then their My Disney Experience account was not matching up with what they had booked, and the tickets were on the wrong names, and they couldn't get it to sync up, and they work during the day. So I was like, I would be happy to take care of that for you. And I called into My Disney Experience account tech support, and we got it all squared away. It took 3 phone calls because it didn't fix the first time. It didn't take the first 2 times, so I had to call in a 3rd time. But they did not have to call 3 times to My Disney Experience. They did not have to worry with that. I just took care of it. And so sometimes it's nice to have that person in your back pocket, available to help you when you have an issue.
My favorite story of hers is when she had someone who was asking about a pricing of an existing cruise. They already had booked. It was already on the docket, and they were asking about something and about moving something, changing something. And the cruise line says, well, we can change that, but it's probably going to cost you more.
Oh, yeah. So it was an existing booking. They noticed that the price had dropped. I called in to get it fixed, and they're like, no, it's going to cost them more money. Or no, we can't do it. And so I just waited for them to talk to someone else. And it was...
Took a couple hours of her time, but in the end...
It did. I saved them several $100s. And, I mean, it was over and done with. They didn't have to fight that. We frequently see, and if you're a part of, a lot of times on Facebook, there's groups for different vendors, vacation vendors, cruise vendors, and you'll see, I will frequently see where people say, oh, you should do da-da-da-da-da, and then everyone else is like, no, they won't do that. I tried, and they won't. And I'm thinking, that person has a travel agent. because a lot of times things that are a no, when the consumer calls in, as a travel agent, I'm able to call and get things taken care of. So,
And I can say for a fact, we have had situations in which times of turmoil at Disney, we had a client staying here on property and things were not going well. Something was going on with the hotel, and she was getting that we can't do that, we can't do that, we can't do that. When we got involved,
hey, they can do that.
things happen. So let us take advantage of that. Let us be that for you guys, and we appreciate all the support you guys give. So again, send us an email. Let us know how we can be a part of it. We've got to head on out. It's been an hour. I got to get this kid over here to the parks. He loves the resorts. Are you ready to go? Mm-hmm. You're not going to be dressed like that, are you? You're going to wear a Tron shirt to the resorts? No. Oh, and now we're going to be heading to the Walt Disney World resorts. Nova's going to stay here because she doesn't have a annual pass. And so, no, you cannot go to the park, Nova. So, all Great Days, like, I want to go. So, head on out over. Go over there. She's like, I want to be on camera. Our Great Dane is a camera hog. So, speaking of that, thank you guys so much. We're going to be back live in 1 hour from now to take you around to some more Disney World parks, resorts, not the parks, but the resorts. We're going to be just hopping around. We hope you guys can just pop in and have some fun with us this afternoon. So, thank you guys for watching. If you've not done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Come back and join us here on the regular. And we'll see you guys in a second in the parks. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you again real soon. Poor Nova. She just wanted to. She's like, I always be in the Zooms. It's not a Zoom. It doesn't count.